What brought you here at 19?
All right, so this is actually kind of interesting to me, but when I actually graduated high school at 16, and I applied to go to a college in the U.S. But my parents, of course, no parent would allow their child to go, you know, out
That's
of the
scary.
continent at 16 when I had no, connections or anything like that. So my parents actually hired me to work in their school for a couple of years while I was waiting to turn 18. I then, because of that, I started college in Ghana and I did 1 year. So then I transferred. I applied to be a transfer student to a college here in the US. So that was my plan all along to come to college here. But as many of you know, I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And as part of that, um, most men at 19 apply to go and serve missions. Now, I expected that I was going to be called somewhere in Africa. Normally, most people in Ghana were called to Nigeria. And so that's what I expected in general that I would go to. But then I opened that mission call and it said, you're hereby called to serve in Los Angeles, California. And that was a shock and a surprise. So I wanted to come to America to go to school, but I ended up coming to America for the first time as a missionary. And for me, that is quite interesting because, we talk about history and how missionaries came from Europe and brought Christianity into Africa and so on. And now for me, I felt like I was almost like fulfilling some calling to now reciprocate and bring Christianity from Africa back into the lives of the people in Los Angeles. And so that was quite interesting to me. And so that's how I got here. I came here as a missionary and served in Los Angeles for 2 years.
And then after that, you went to school.
Exactly. So after my mission, after 2 years, I went back home for a few weeks and then I returned to go to school at BYU in Provo, Utah.
Was your intention to stay after you graduated? What were your plans?
Good question. So my plans from the beginning, I always felt like this was the place where my dreams were going to come true, right? And this is the thing that I said in the beginning, that the gap between ambition and opportunity still existed for me in Ghana. And so I felt like in Ghana, I could daydream about all the things I wanted, but there was never, for me at least, a clear vision of how I could achieve some of those things. And for some reason, I believed that I could do that in America. And I felt like in America, I could dream freely. And so when I got here, I just soaked in every opportunity I could get. And I knew that this is where I wanted to be. This is where I wanted to raise my kids. And so even though I had to go through a process of, being a non-immigrant and then eventually an immigrant and then eventually a citizen, I knew in my heart, that at some point, if I had the opportunity, I would love to be able to stay here and be an American. It was never guaranteed. And so it was part of my prayer every day for that opportunity. And eventually came true after 18 years. But it was never guaranteed. And I had to hope and pray every day for that dream to be a possibility.